Good.
Live night news. If you're a lot like me, then you might not like you. This is episode 6, Hours of Clarity. Welcome, folks. I just wanted to go on by saying that any and all donations for the PayPal link below will go to recovery homes and outreach centers in the community of Windsor, alongside the programs that my friend here that I'm going to be talking with on this episode that he's been through. If he decides that he wants to donate through Brentwood as an alumni, all donations to Brentwood Recovery Home and or Phoenix. I know that he did a program at the Mission in downtown Windsor you recovered from. And just introduce yourself for a second here and we'll get going.
My name is Derek Walna, and I'm 38 years old. I have 8 months sober right now, and in the last 15 months, a little longer, one slight relapse one day.
So recovery, 15 months solid.
Solid.
Yeah, so you grew up in Windsor, right? Or this area?
Grew up in Windsor from high school on.
Right,
Yes.
okay. So where'd you originate from?
I was born in Germany.
Okay.
I grew up north near Petawawa in Deep River, small town,
Yeah.
army town. And then came to Windsor when I was about 14 years old.
Okay.
Grade 10.
Okay.
Grade 10 I started Windsor.
So when did you first realize that maybe you had an issue, let's say?
Well, I knew I had an issue with the streets at a young age, but with addiction,
Yeah.
probably mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's the first time I went to rehab, but I wasn't honest with myself.
Right.
And I did it just to escape the bad situations of being addicted to many substances, clean myself up because jail didn't end up happening. Right? So, but I didn't take it serious. I came to Brentwood maybe 3 weeks, probably not even, and they weeded me out because I thought it was a joke.
Right.
Didn't take anything serious, didn't take life serious. You know what I mean?
Like many of us, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
So as a child, let's say, you growing up, how was your childhood? You played hockey, you played sports, you were telling me something about that?
I played all sports, a lot of sports, baseball, hockey, soccer, competitive hockey.
Yep.
My parents were good parents.
Yep.
My dad's military, that's why I grew up north. And my mom lived at home and took care of us until I was about 10, maybe a little younger, and then became a manager at Burger King.
Right.
So I had a good childhood up until I didn't. My dad went through his own life experiences with war.
Yeah.
Went to overseas a couple times, and unfortunately, he went through his own trials and tribulations when he went to Rwanda and came back a little different from what he witnessed as.
How old were you then?
6 years old, 92 or 94, so 6 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
I think 6 years old.
Okay.
And that's when life changed in a negative way for the first time for me.
So you can recognize that's kind of how you closed up as a person, where you kind of had a distancing, in a sense?
Yeah, I was honestly, with the stuff that happened, I was a shy kid my whole life, right? A shy kid, long blonde hair, blue eyes, I remember my mom taking me to the bank when I was 4, and all the old ladies oh, you know what I mean? I'm hiding behind my mom. And then when the household stuff started, I didn't like violence, my sister and my brother would always be in the middle of it, and I'd be the one hiding in the bedroom.
Are you the youngest?
Middle
child. Okay.
Middle, yeah. My sister's a year younger. My brother is 6 years older than me.
Okay.
But I would be the one hiding. I didn't like it.
So when did you first start realizing, let's say, that things at home were changing? Maybe you started heading out, doing your own thing to get into the substances, or.
When I was young, I don't think I understood what was happening at the household. Right? I didn't understand how he went to war, came back different. I didn't get that concept till I was older. And then for the drugs, I would say when I moved away from that small town the first time and I started skateboarding, grade 7, right? Started skateboarding. That was my escape, right? Hockey or skateboarding.
Yeah.
But hockey,
you're pretty good at hockey too, eh?
Yeah, I was all right. But with hockey, I had to be home to go to hockey. So, I skateboarding, I could just, right after school,
be gone.
Have
your friends.
Out, smoking weed, you know what I mean?
So that's where it started.
That's where it started.
Yeah,
12 years old, skateboarding.
Right.
That was the
wrong crowd kind of thing.
Wrong crowd, but not too bad of a crowd. But
You graduated high school, did all the things and the thing and the thing and the thing, right?
Yeah, I was 21. It took me a little bit, but I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's when I first got into like any type of substance. It was marijuana first, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Drinking was not far behind. I believe I was 13 years old and I got arrested for drinking.
In public?
Yeah, I was at a baseball diamond in a dugout with a couple friends.
God. There's no game going on, just you and the guys in the dugout. No bats, no balls.
No,
yeah, it's not suspicious, I tell you.
Some innocent guy walking by with his dog, and we're smashing fucking bottles. And sorry for the language. We're smashing bottles in the dugout.
Yeah.
He hears it.
Yeah.
We drink like 8 beers each. There's 3 of us. Drink 8 beers each. Hammered.
Yeah, you're
right?
not on tilt.
Come walking out all sloshed, and there's a cop waiting in the parking lot.
Of course. Yeah.
Arrested.
Yeah. Just wait for these heat bags to finish and just
Yeah,
put them in
finished.
cuffs. So what'd your parents think at that point, right? You get brought home by the
That
cops?
was the one get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dad's in the
Like,
military.
yeah, so he's by the book. He didn't like none of that
Of
shit.
course not.
But you know what? Not even because he was by the book. I understand now that he just seen. Like, I just thought,
He's
like,
right.
he just riding me hard on me, like, it's just the way life was. But now I realize, like, he knew that I was going down the wrong path
Right.
at a very young age.
Right.
And he didn't want to see it.
Right.
And he's tough love, not baby.
Right.
Yeah. You
And
know
plus,
what I mean?
and plus, you know what? Like, I can kind of relate to you. My family's from Germany. I had the same type of thing: blonde hair, blue eyes, going to the bank with my mom, or whatever the stories are. Look at his hair, like, and just being bashful about it, right? Like being picked on myself in my life throughout life. Maybe I was just indifferent in my own ways, but the circumstances, the feelings are the same.
Yeah.
Right, we can see that now. We're going through programming, you know, like relating to all these different topics, and like touching base through Brentwood, like finding out that, you know, me and you talking saves our own life. You giving me advice will save my life. I can't go and burden myself with my stories, my past, my histories, what my dad did, or how my life was, or the people that picked on me, or the resentments I had towards my family members for not being there, or whatever. But you can take those burdens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't learn that until I came to program. So it's like something that saved my life is actually being friends with you, being friends with other people. Like knowing that it isn't your dad's fault for the way you felt.
Not a damn.
But how many years did you really blame?
Like I clinged on to that, right?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Until I didn't. And
And
then I realized, like,
So going through your feelings today, you can put in perspective that your parents weren't to blame for your actions now.
not a damn part of it.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
It was all my fault. I made all my own choices. I wasn't even home. How is it their fault?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gone all day. They're like, get arrested. They weren't with me when I was
Right.
getting
But who
drunk.
bailed you out?
Multiple times.
Mom,
Multiple times.
right? Or dad?
Both,
Right,
both,
exactly.
Lawyer fees for me the first time.
Man,
You
so
know what I mean?
my dad did the same things, bro.
Right.
Like, and they don't give up on us.
But like a crucial part, I think, in my life wasn't even the stuff that happened when I was younger.
Right.
I think it was, so I moved from Deep River to Strathroy, Ontario, which is just beside London, right?
Yeah.
At the end of grade 6, grade 7, I found weed. So first time we moved, I was also born in Germany too, just to let you know.
You said that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
So
You can say it again if you want.
there you go.
Where were you
I was born in Germany.
Okay.
Lahr. Yeah.
What?
Lahr.
Okay. Where? I'm just
So
kidding.
I know. So where were we?
We were at the
so
point you moved to Strathroy.
Moved to Strathroy first in grade 7. Started smoking weed then, right?
Yeah.
And
Probably
then I
trying to
lived-
fit in or something.
That's what I mean. Fit in, start skateboarding, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
We come across some weed in one of our parents, not my parents,
But
my
regardless,
parents
it was
didn't do
one of
that.
the kids.
Another friend's parents had
Yeah.
some weed in the drawer. Oh shit, let's go.
So you don't have to come from a negative place. It's just how we interpreted the changes in our life,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. So fit in. Unfortunately, the wrong people are gonna pick you first.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's right.
And then
You want to be cool, or
And then I went to my first year of high school in Strathroy,
yeah.
and you know, grade 9's when you meet everybody.
That's
Because,
right.
like
Oh,
all the
your
grade
life,
school,
you're coming
all the
together,
grade
yeah.
schools combine into one high school.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? A little different in bigger cities, but same
concept, yeah.
Exactly. So, and then I go through grade 9. I got all my friends, all my boys. Oh, by the way, grade 9 high school dance. The only person.
Notice how he said his boys.
The only person in the first high school dance to get caught intoxicated. Smoked a bunch of weed. Smelled like it when I walked in.
Yeah.
Busted.
I swear to God, I got sprayed by a skunk.
No, I never did. It was somebody else in front of me, but it didn't work.
You're so
And then they're like, "You're gonna get arrested." I'm like, "For what? I don't even got nothing on me. I smoked it all. You can't arrest me."
yeah, see how mouth you.
Yeah.
Regardless, okay. So your addiction addiction hits, you start, wheeling and dealing in grade 9, 10?
Grade 10, I would say grade 9, I was just more drinking all the time, smoking all the time.
Yeah.
Even grade 10, so I moved to Windsor, and then that's where it changed, right? Grade 10, trying to meet new friends.
Right.
Everyone's already got their cliques,
Or
right?
whatever, yeah. People are born here.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm in grade 10, everyone's already got their cliques and shit. But
How many times do you have to prove yourself? Like
that started once I was like probably grade 11. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any names, but I met one in particular friend, and he was like, it's like a brother to me too.
Right.
If he sees this, he knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's a brother
Is
to
that
me.
the guy you told me that you end up living with kind of thing? And
Yeah, he
Yeah,
moved
okay.
in with
Yeah.
my parents and all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, ended up graduating, did
Right.
good, great with his life.
guy with a good heart, making bad choices.
Bad choice. And he just went through foster care. He had his own things, right?
Yep.
He introduced me to the street life, started slinging a little bit of weed, and then it just started doing ecstasy,
Yeah.
started doing other things, started
So
doing
multitudes of
I
drugs.
just fell into everything.
Yeah.
And then I remember the
Were you
first
already
time.
fighting through this? Like in life?
The fighting started when I met him.
Okay,
big
I see,
time.
yeah.
So I remember the first time he was like, yo, you gotta whip this guy's ass. Pretty much how it happened, right?
Yeah.
So I fought, and then it was my first fight, so it wasn't nothing sick, but I didn't lose. And then I realized, like, when I get that nervous feeling
Yeah.
that I used to get as a kid when I was scared.
Anxiety, yeah.
When I was scared and my parents would fight in earth battles, I was like, damn, I can defend
The fight or
myself.
flight.
Yeah, fight or flight.
Yeah,
oh,
or
man.
freeze.
Yeah.
I had a lot of the freeze moments myself, man. Like going into the high school moment, like I always thought I had something to prove, right? Because like people would look at me differently. So in a way that you had to move schools, I just never fit really in, you know?
Yeah.
Big mouth kid, all that kind of stuff. So I always stand out, always in trouble. And I thought that I had to like uphold what people already thought of me. You know what I mean? So taking that into context, it's like something to prove to nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So coming to that street life, when you're with this guy or whatever, and you start learning this balance, what did you have to prove to yourself? What did you think you had to show?
I didn't have to prove nothing to myself. I had to prove things to other people. I
Right.
came from a suburban life, right? And I
They
came
thought you
from
were the
a
good kid.
household.
Yeah.
Yeah, like both my parents, my mom, like she's a strong lady, stuck by my dad. Told me one time, like straight up, this isn't your dad. He went through stuff at war. When he marries somebody,
Not the same
it's
guy.
through sickness and
Yeah.
health. He'll be normal again one day. He is. He's
And
perfectly
she's
fine
there
now. He's a
through
great
and
man.
through.
Through and through. They're still together. They're amazing, both of them. So I came from that lifestyle. My parents together, they play good sports. I'm not really from that life, so I
Right.
had to prove myself, right? But at the same time, it worked in my benefit that I was quiet as an antisocial kid because I didn't
Right.
like people. And in the street life, that's kind of almost a blessing.
Yeah, it's almost
be
the way of
quiet
life,
and
right?
be aware of your surroundings in the situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it worked out, and then I found drugs. Like started doing drugs. It started with ecstasy and cocaine. I didn't really get into like the harder drugs than that till like my mid-20s, I believe.
I really like the way we honestly think about things like this because I used to like be addicted to crack cocaine. I got into the fentanyl later on in my life. In the last few years of my addiction, I was on methadone. Like my father, like you said, you know, your mom, your dad, they stuck by you regardless of like what he went through. They're still there for you, you know. My dad would bring me to the methadone clinic daily and like not even want to be a part of my life, barely talking, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember saying that these are the hard drugs, but then I would smoke weed.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Drugs are drugs.
I would be completely like annihilated when I'm
Yeah.
already addicted to fentanyl and cocaine. I'd have a day break or something. I'd smoke a joint and play some
Yeah.
video games or
Yeah.
something, and I'd be totaled. I
Yeah.
couldn't even stand it. I'm like, wow, like the weed was the hard drug now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's weird how our
And you
bodies
smoke it when you're on, like if you're on crystal and Betty and you smoke a joint, you're scattered.
scattered. So
they're annihilated.
right. So it's like I'm looking at the situation how you just said like, oh, you know, the harder drugs than cocaine or ecstasy. Like, are we really like? Do you know what I mean? How do we balance this?
Well, they're all negative.
They're
but
all
some-
hard.
Like, I heard this from a group leader before, and it's it's a
Group
good
leader from where?
Phoenix program. Chris
Okay.
Heber, great guy.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
him.
He was
Like, sponsored me.
episode 3, I think, or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he put it in a way I never heard. He's like, back in our day, like I'm not that old, I'm 38, but back
Yeah.
when I was like 20, he's a couple years older
Yeah.
than me. He's like, you used to hit rock bottom.
Right.
And find rehab, like forced into it. You burn all your bridges.
Yeah,
drop
lose your
everything,
job,
you
your
lose
wife,
job,
something, yeah.
You end up in jail. You have to go to rehab.
Lesser
And
sentence.
Once you go to rehab, the seed is planted.
That's
if you
right.
do not die or lose your mind,
You've picked up
will be
something.
back.
That's right.
Right? So when he said that, he's like, at least you used to hit a rock bottom. Now with crystal meth and fentanyl, the fact of the matter is, like, crystal meth, you lose your mind, fentanyl, you die. There is no more rock
And put it
bottom.
this way, both those drugs, okay, they alleviate the mind state when you use crystal, okay? That is an amphetamine that takes your thought process away from your emotions. So you don't have emotions when you're on crystal. You have impulsivities with emotions, so you'll feel something and be manic about it, right? And then you get scattered, so you get into psychosis quickly.
After about 4 days of being
Right. Okay. And it keeps you, and that stuff keeps you right up. So
Yeah.
then take fentanyl for instance. It numbs the entire neurological system. So you can't be in touch with your conscience
Yeah.
when you're using fentanyl.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
I
pity
don't
you.
touch with anything.
Yeah. As soon as
Zombie.
the only time you feel anything is when you start the withdrawal and you need your next fix, and it's chase, and unless you go and get withdrawal management, which I highly recommend. And it's at a point where where's the emotions? So we can't be in touch with that. At least I know with cocaine, and I'm going to say this, like you said, it wasn't as hard, or the balance of it. I know for a fact that if I'm in a daily use of just cocaine or smoking crack, when I come down the next day, or the times that I do come down, I know my guilt resides with me. I know that. Like it's a mental withdrawal more than it is a body withdrawal. There's fidgetiness, there's a little bit of restless leg kind of thing, and there's tendencies that you pick up with that withdrawal, but it isn't more physical like the methamphetamine or the fentanyl, right, or heroin or any of the opiates.
Yeah.
So like putting this in perspective, we go through topics at Brentwood, right? And you said a group leader helped you kind of realize that. At what point here did you really take your life seriously to give your family the time back? Like how we spell love now, the ticking minutes that we don't buy at a store.
So that's an easy one.
I like these.
Like, I had a emotional, I guess you could call it a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
But I like to refer to it as my breakthrough, because I got locked up in February of 2023
Okay.
for like the 10th time in a couple of years, right?
Right. So in and out of prison.
In and out of prison. The last 4 years, probably like 2.5 years
Yep.
of it, right? Bit after bit, get out for a couple months, sometimes like 6 days, but not the point.
Right.
Point is, I went in last time, and I still had a bag of dope in the holding cell, so I'm sniffing fentanyl in the holding cell,
Yeah.
still high, right?
Yeah.
Get
Were you
down-
dry celled?
No, I got dry celled in Southwest.
Okay.
But I did all the dope downtown in the holding cell
Okay.
before I went to Southwest.
Okay.
I didn't have much, but I had enough to maintain my high.
Right.
So I get down to Southwest. They think I have a package on me, which I didn't.
That's the
but-
Windsor jail?
Yeah,
Okay.
Southwest Detention Center. What up?
Oh my
So-
goodness. Shout out.
Yeah, so I get there, I'm still high, so I'm like belligerent, and they're dry selling me, and I've been dry sold twice before because
Yeah.
I'm like suspicious of being suspicious, right? So I'm pissed off because I really don't have a package, and being dry sold sucks. You got the baby doll on.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
look
yeah,
like a
yeah.
weirdo.
Yeah.
You got to take a shit in front of guards. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man, it's degrading.
No water.
Yeah, no water. So I don't do my piss sample because I'm all belligerent and pissed off that they're dry selling me.
Yeah.
So I don't do a piss sample. So I don't get my Suboxone or methadone. So now I'm coming off of like, I was probably out. I got out in September, went back in February, right? So whatever, however many months that is, and I was going hard on the dope, bro.
So what you were doing in the breakthrough in the dry cell, you had a mental breakthrough?
I went through the withdrawals,
Yeah.
cold turkey, bro. 14, 15 days. I didn't even think I was in jail if I told you the hallucinations
Yeah.
that you had
Yeah.
coming off of those two, crystal meth and fentanyl with
Right.
my DOC at the time.
Right.
I'd do anything, didn't discriminate drugs or women. That was just me on drugs as a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
So, go through 14, 15 days of severe withdrawal, lose like 27 pounds, puking, shitting,
Yeah.
bones feel like they're
Sweats,
peeling out of your
the whole
skin.
9 yards,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Hallucinating about the craziest things you wouldn't even imagine. Didn't even think I was in
But you can
jail.
remember it.
I remember all
So
of them
that's the part.
because I thought they were real.
That's right.
And then that's what led to the mental breakthrough / breakdown.
So-
So that when I got clear-minded, I realized that, bro, I almost lost my mind for
And-
real.
Thank God you have it back.
I didn't think I was gonna get like. That's why I got down on my knees and I prayed, man, and I said, I just prayed and thank God that I had my mind back because I almost lost. Like I really understand where these people that you see in other places in life on
Talking to
the streets
this
talking
and
to
that,
this,
yeah.
that, the other. That was me for 2 weeks, bro.
You have no idea how similar our stories are. Like, it's crazy. In 2021, September 27th, I was arrested. I got in a head-on collision. I broke both my collarbones, my leg, and 4 plates. You know the story, right?
Yeah.
But for the people, I was forced into lockup, right?
Yeah.
I get bail. I bury my gold chain in the dirt, and I run from the hospital on house arrest. I got cast up to my thigh. I jump into traffic trying to kill myself because I'm hearing all these things. I'm thinking they're real. I think my family's being hurt in the hospital. I think all kinds of stuff, and now I got no access to a phone. So when I go back to prison, right, I'm in jail, and I'm like, I call my family, finally get to a phone 12 days later after all these surgeries, and they're fine. Everyone's okay. But I could still trick myself in hearing these things that they're not okay. In between phone calls, in between nights, in between days that I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I was forced into, I lost my methadone, the same thing. I had to start back off at 30 mils and then do the thing. Like after 2 weeks in or something, I get to see the doctor, do all the, it's like, man, the whole situation, like you're putting me in flashbacks right now. Because those revelations, okay, I'd say it that way because you were revealed something through your psychosis, through all that stuff you went through, was for your changing. That was for you. So it was real.
That would have changed me. I believe, man. I've been to jail so many times in my life, and I never changed.
Bro, I prayed every single day, continuously. Please give me my mind back.
I cried and prayed my word for like a couple hours, bro.
Yeah, give me my mind back. Please let me think again.
4 hours at least, bro. And then, like, I remember.
Did you go to Brentwood after prison?
This time in prison?
Yeah.
Or like
the very last time. So you got the 15 months.
So what happened was, that happened right as soon as I finished my breakdown. I started banging on the door. Give me a Bible. I need a Bible. I need something to read.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just the easiest book to get in jail.
Yeah.
But
They have to give it to you.
They have to, even in the hole, right?
Yeah.
But Southwest is soft jail, so they'll give. It's a detention center, not a jail. So they'll give you anything in the hole. They're nice there and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Not like normal jails. Let me tell you that. So, anyways, I get the Bible and I start reading it. And I'm drawing a blank of where we were going with
You were
that.
talking about how you had a mental breakdown. Just the fact that you were lost and you finally got your mind back was your breakthrough. And then I was just wondering which treatment center, like what you went to after prison. Like how did prison go? You got bail,
So
obviously.
prison happened, and after that happened, I got the Bible and I asked for a couple of request forms
Yeah.
at the same time. And I got those, and then I put a request into the social worker begging I didn't know when I was going to be released, and I was up on a couple trafficking charges.
Yeah.
So, like, if I didn't catch bail, which was very likely because I didn't catch bail a couple other times,
Right.
So it was a high probability I wasn't going to catch bail. I didn't have nobody to be my surety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I was like, if I do get bail, I don't even want to be released if I'm not going to a program.
Okay.
Social worker came to talk to me like, I only see your name in this jail because of problems. Like, why are you asking for help? And
Finally asking for help.
Yeah, and then shout out to Mo too, Maureen. She's amazing. I love her.
The social worker?
She started the path for me to get sober.
That's one of my best friends. I'm really happy about
Yeah,
that.
she's amazing, and I've seen her a couple times since then.
Yeah.
At different places to do with sobriety and stuff.
Yeah.
Helping people out.
So regardless, she got you into which.
She got me into Hand in Hand. That's
Okay.
where I went first. Shout out to Hand in Hand.
Did you get
too.
bail or did you have to serve a sentence?
I got bail. My sister,
Hey!
amazing, beautiful person.
Yeah.
It took a lot of So actually, she didn't want to do it because she knows me. Right? She knows me, and I don't lie to my
Okay, so
family.
my
so
sister
never.
bailed me out too, and then my brother. So my brother ended up being my surety after my mom. All kinds
But
of stuff.
it took my mental health worker, Sabrina,
To talk to her.
when I was in jail, and then my probation officer.
Yeah.
I needed her to talk to her because I was begging her,
Yeah.
and she's just like.
So you got to a point that you actually went to Hand in Hand, and then the Phoenix program. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
And then they do the Enterprise after that, where it's
Yeah,
helps
they
with
do
housing
that.
and all that
So-
stuff, right?
I was in Hand, great place, met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
Did okay there, but wasn't where I needed to be yet.
Right.
For my own reasons, right?
Right.
And then I was in between there, checking out Phoenix every now and then, which is a great place, but you're in the heart of like where they help.
Trigger City, we'll say,
Yeah.
because it's
I don't know how to word that in a
Okay,
way.
so I'll word it this way: we both work at the downtown mission now. He's security there, was blessed through recovery, ended up finding employment. I ended up getting a job as a support worker alongside him. We both work night shifts. He's one of my best friends. But the main thing is this: okay, so going through any program will help, is what we're trying to get at. Maybe
Yeah.
certain ones don't fit certain people, but the main thing for programs to collaborate is something that I wanted to kind of address at certain points in the city and throughout time, because where we direct people when they don't fit in certain programs? How can
Yeah.
we be in touch with other places
Yeah.
that say like, okay, maybe this isn't good enough for you, but have a worker from this place have talked to you and then get to another program. So you luckily had friends in recovery, through recovery, and found the Phoenix program, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, like Brentwood, it's an amazing program, man.
Right. Who
Really
runs that?
is
Chris
amazing.
T-Bear?
Chris T-Bear
Yeah.
and John.
Yeah, Dr. John.
Dr. John. Two amazing people that really helped me with my my path big time, right? Like
Yeah.
two people I still go to for direction, even all this time after, man.
Let's
And
talk
I
about
talk-
direction. Do we make choices alone these days?
No, never. Because when I have a thought and a choice to make, when I go ask 10 people that already have years of sobriety, like I'll get 10 of the same answers, but they're different from what I was thinking.
Yeah, so then it's
So
not to do
I
it.
know I'm the idiot. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking dumb again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's right. You
But-
got to bounce ideas off people because regardless, if
Yeah.
they say it's a good idea, it's probably a good idea. I should do it.
Yeah.
You know, I never would have started this without people like you in my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be inspired to move forward with my life without other people saying, you know what, Matt, you can. You can.
But
You
if
know?
you know where you want to be in life for real and you really want to make changes, I don't think it matters what program you go to.
As long as you work.
Because you need to be honest with yourself. You know, like for me, so I'll speak in I's and not U's.
Yeah.
I knew every single time I came to rehab
Yeah.
that I was not going to succeed. Because from day one, I had reservations to go use dope the day I was done. I was doing it to please other people in my life.
Truth be
Always.
told. Truth be told.
Truth be
Save
told.
the girlfriend, save the job, bless the sentence, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? I'm glad you
Whatever.
say that, bro, because like here's the main thing in my life, right? Like I love doing these talks with people because you really find out what a person has insight to, right? Or what they
Yeah.
truthfully bring to the table from the facts in the past. And look at the topic of the week at Brentwood this week, honesty.
Yeah.
Honesty is an action, bro. It is an
Yeah.
action. If you're acting right, okay, are you bored today? We talked about this the other day. Life is boring.
Yeah.
It is.
But
look
it's
at how.
boring because like it's boring in a good way.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's what
because
I'm-
I don't. To me, boring. If I don't have chaos,
Then it's
life is boring.
boring, right.
Like chaos ain't good.
But what comes with the boring? The phone calls from family. You get
Peace.
to you went to
Okay,
church.
like,
You introduced me to your
trust,
mom.
Faith, family, love, hope, forgiveness, and peace.
Right. I got to meet your
Exactly
mom
that.
going to church that day. Right.
Yeah.
You know your mother gives me a ride back to the mission. We go eat lunch. We had a great day. It's like you went and did your testimonial at the Parkwood, right?
Parkwood,
Yeah,
yeah,
Parkwood.
Beach Center.
Right.
Yeah,
So
went to Parkwood,
Christian
Parkwood.
church, and it's like okay, so we find faiths in different reasons. People can
Yeah.
believe in what they believe in, but we have to believe in something. Even believing in nothing is choosing to believe in something.
Mind, body, spirit.
That's
You
it,
have to
man.
have all three, right? And spirit doesn't have to be God or religion, but you do have to have a higher power. of
Something
some
that you
sort.
can say that
Believe
relies
it or
on-
not,
Yeah.
your own higher power don't work like that. You have to have a higher belief than yourself.
That's it.
For me, it's God, man. I love God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I know that this is a major factor in your life, the belief in trust and things, because I don't know. I guess the mental breakthrough, as you put it, right? And
Yeah.
you going from that, holding that Bible, to the trust and faith that you still hold today, that you want to give back. You're there for people. You're there for me in the community. Like, so you still believe in your higher power the same way you asked for help that day in jail.
Absolutely.
Right. So if we let go of that point in
What
our life,
else do I got?
what else do you got, man? Like
That's why
you're
I
finishing
did-
my sentences because like I understand you as a person without actually having to know your entire history, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know your brother's name yet. I don't know, like you remember.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
You'll
That-
meet them all for sure.
that's
you know?
my point, right? Like in knowing that right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I already know you're one of my best friends right here.
Yeah.
Like I just have a trust and faith in recovery now that I can bring my problems to people where I never liked people before, bud.
How can you like people in this life we live?
Right.
Everybody's honest.
Don't
Everybody's
step over
evil.
you, or you know your wallet's missing. The guy
Yeah.
stole it from you, and he's helping you look for it.
Like, this is how I used to think legitimately, right? If somebody, when I was in the streets and shit, if somebody ever offered me help,
There has
and
to
I
be.
couldn't see what they were gaining from helping me,
Yeah,
I wouldn't accept the help because I'm missing a piece to the puzzle.
yeah, the trick.
Right?
The
Because
trick.
it's the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing
You're not
nothing
doing this for
free.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And I want to say, like, for anyone that might watch this and thinks, like, might be selling dope or whatever, doing dope, thinking it's cool and shit. Bro, like, what comes from the street life, and I don't care who you are, violence, bro.
Yeah.
Bad things happen to all people in the street
Yeah.
life. I've been tied up and tortured,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Literally for days, being within an inch of my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done horrible things to other people. I've spent too much time in jail.
Yeah.
And then in jail, you got to switch up. You might be a nice person.
But you gotta put the armor on.
I'm the nicest person sober, bro. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people enjoy me around them when I'm sober, right? Now that I've been sober.
Yeah.
But when you're in jail, dog, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And you have to change your whole mentality.
That's
you
the,
know?
that's the thing I was scared of the most this time. I came to treatment looking at 6 years, right? I ended up getting 2 years to serve in the community, right? With narcotics charges, trafficking charges, driving charges. And I was at a point in my life where I thought I was coming to treatment because I chose to, right? Realizing that I'm not coming here for that. I want something out of it. There's always a thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm scared to go for 6 years. I don't want to do this. Like, man, I got to go put the armor back on. And I'm ready for change, right? I think. So I came here, I started getting in the grind of it, right? And then what's it called? Like, looking inside of myself, right? And seeing that I was the issue, that there always is an angle. It's just like you said, if someone's offering you help, well, what's the get up?
Yeah.
Here in programs, they're offering us the help just because they want people to
That's
succeed.
what I wanted to say too. Like people that are sober really
They don't want nothing from you.
genuinely care. The people at the church that I go to, bro, I don't even know if I would have stayed at the church until I went there the first time. And they bring in everybody. They stop at the mission to pick people up, new people, and bring them to church.
Right.
And then nobody judges anybody. The first time I went there, bro, they all asked me my name. Second time I went there, everybody
knew your
my
name. Yeah.
And they're all so nice. And I was like,
it feels good to be welcome somewhere without having to try and put on.
yeah.
Like, in all honesty, I don't have to
be yourself.
But that happiness at first, when I was first in recovery, it feels odd.
Awkward.
It feels very awkward, but I like to say this, okay? Here's the truth that recovery taught me through other people and programs, that if it's awkward and new, I should probably sit in it because I don't understand it. It's probably good for me because I haven't done it before. I haven't been there, so it feels awkward and it's new. Awkward and familiar? Uh-oh. I better not do this because I know it. If it's familiar to me, I've probably done it. I've had the angle on it. I've done the thing. So it's like reality check. If I already know what it is, I probably shouldn't be involved in it. I'm not that great of a guy in my history. Today, I'm not that person anymore. You know, so I'm glad to have you on, Derek. It's like you bring a lot of insight to people, especially being from around here, being through like Windsor, the community involvement in different programs, right?
Yeah.
You're an alumni at Brentwood. You come for meetings. You show up. You put on at the Phoenix program. Chris is proud of you. Like, we're both going to school for mental health and addictions together. We both work together. Like, I got a lot of things that I'm doing that with you. You know what I mean? So to do this podcast with you, bro, it's a blessing, honestly.
And thank you. I appreciate that. And I want to put out there, like, the work everyone at the mission does. Like, I don't know if regular people understand how important it is, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just drug addicts there or mental health people. It's like there are normal people that are just in bad life circumstances.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like, some people have no one and they're going through a lot, and they provide 3 meals a day. We clothe
Shower.
shower. Like, there's so much that is done. And the importance of that is, it's just extremely needed in the city.
And which reminds me, the downtown mission runs off of donations. Right?
All
We
off
have
of
no
donations.
razors. We have no shaving cream. We need help with that kind of stuff. You know, toothbrushes, like socks. They always want socks. Okay, we need socks. There's
Like
a lot of things.
120 people always asking
Yeah.
for stuff the same, like, each day.
Yeah.
So anything helps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to shout that out.
I'm really proud of you, and I'm proud of everybody that works there as well. The main thing, bro, is like hearing about your life story and the fact that you're working in the hard, like,
Part of the problem.
Bro.
And I left a really good job, like a good paying job, to
or career. Yeah.
career, man. Career. I did tile and natural stone for 20 years, even through my addiction.
Yeah.
Because, like, my work couldn't even supply half of my
I
habit,
love this
bro.
guy. I do. I love him.
My work couldn't even supply half of my drug habit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
But you're making
I
what,
make
like the half the
30
wage?
bucks, 30-something bucks an hour.
Right.
And you know what? I wasn't at peace doing that. So, you know, I got this opportunity after doing the Phoenix program and then going to Enterprise and really putting in all, like, my all for both of them. And people noticed, man. They really noticed. And they gave me an opportunity, offered me a job. And you know what?
How many times they ask us to speak at places?
I got another one tonight, bro. Right after this, I go and speak again, and so do you. You know what I mean? Like, and I love it, man. Like, I love this type of thing.
Yeah.
I love talking because I just truly hope that I really, like, even if I help one person at a time every now and then, I don't need to save people every day. We do at the mission.
That's right.
You
We
know
just
what I
be
mean? We
there.
really
Be
do.
there.
But
If you
it's
have
good
one,
to be there.
if you have one thing that you wanted to tell anyone in the struggle, or anybody that suffers from watching someone struggle, family members, people out there in the community, like, just to, like, really break it down, like, for a good purpose, what would you actually have to say to the camera, to the people?
I'd have to say that I truly believe in addiction, and from my own experience, that when you're in addiction, you really have to get to the point of suffering so much that you have to change. You know what I mean? I don't know if anything else could have gotten me to change, because I've done rehabs all over.
Yeah.
You know, I've had my mom, my dad try to bail me out 100 times. There's 100 different situations, you know, and I had to suffer so much
Admitting.
that I broke down
Yeah.
and realized that I had to change. And then when the person you love gets to that point, help them. Because
Yeah.
that's when they're going to truly want to help. Until then, you might have to show tough love. But the streets aren't fun, man. You might think they're fun when you're young. You might make money in them. It might look awesome, popping bottles at the club,
Here- oh,
thinking you're Drake.
I had one of my-
But, like, these guys that you
They're not cool.
feed off of in the rap game and all that, they don't really do the shit they rap about. You know,
I know what you mean. Or else they wouldn't be in the studio because
Yeah.
they would be in the
They'd
streets.
be out fucking up the
There might be some people that live like that, whatever. But the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to get at too is that like the message you're sending right there is the fact of like everybody's rock bottom can be set and be set and be set until the point of we realize inside that we have to admit something that
I
we
don't
want to
think
change.
anybody changes until they hit the real
Rock bottom,
You've
yeah.
suffered enough where you have to change.
Yeah. The main thing is,
Unfortunately, people die before they ever hit that point. Now that fentanyl's killing people like crazy.
oh man, it's nuts. And then they got there's like a tranquilizer in it now,
Yeah,
and like all
it's
kinds of weird
Xyl
stuff.
or whatever.
The point is, it is a very dangerous place, the world today, in the streets, in the struggle, in addiction, and being an alcoholic myself, having alcoholism, knowing that I suffer from a disease, and having people understand that disease with me is the only thing that kept me right
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I don't know about tomorrow because it ain't here yet.
Look at what you had to do to yourself before you could ever realize you needed help.
Right.
Jump in front of fucking traffic.
No, and that's the point I'm trying to get at. So if I
you had to
man,
hit a rock bottom, like a crazy rock bottom.
I love that you said that. I
Like,
love
you
you
know
said
what
that.
I mean? You had to put yourself through so much suffering. No one could have helped you, bro.
That's it. I had to help myself. But the thing is, they were there for me still. The people
Yeah,
that I
of course
hurt, the
they
people that worried about me, the people that struggled for me to get right. It's like they were the ones to save me and get me out of the jams that I was
Yeah.
in order to help myself.
Yeah.
But in all reality, bro, I'm going to leave it at this. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow ain't here yet. Today's all we have. I appreciate you in the moment. I'm blessed to have you.
Thank
I
you.
hope to have you
Yeah.
again. Hopefully we can do the thing with you and Chris.
We're
But
going to do that.
we're going to close up this episode. Thanks for watching. This is Hours of Clarity, live to live night news. If you're a lot like me, then you might not like you. We're out.
Peace.
Love you, buddy.